So, what we could do to see if there's a way to test experimentally the very out there hypothesis that life might be tweaking the laws of physics in its favor and the constants that govern those laws that we don't know why they have the values they have, is to test and find ways to test whether these constants and things, anything we can observe in the early universe, whether there is evidence that they have changed, that the constants have changed. And we know that there's the Hubble tension, where the early universe values of the Hubble constant don't agree very well with the way of determining the Hubble constant using the nearby local universe. There may be other tensions. I mean, the dark energy, which we don't even know what it is, but it may not be constant as the standard model of cosmology assumes, because the new DESI experiment, DESI, Dark Energy Survey Instrument, seems to show, although it isn't it isn't significant enough yet to be called a true discovery, but that's a random line you draw, that dark energy may be decreasing with time, which would be beneficial to life. We need a little tiny bit of dark energy, but then if it starts to just rip the universe apart, that's no good. So we need dark energy, maybe, to get to the situation where we are currently, which very interestingly, and not in a natural way, we've just come into the epoch of the universe, epoch, E-P-O-C-H, not E-P-I-C, in which dark energy is taking over and expanding the universe faster and faster. It's not natural. There's no explanation for why we happen to be in exactly that time. But if dark energy is gradually decreasing, then the big rip, or the possibility that the universe is just going to expand way too fast in the future, might be being moderated and slowed down. And why? Well, it is, at least seems to be, favorable for the longer existence of the universe, such that life can sustain itself longer. Well, that's pretty flimsy single argument. The Hubble tension might give you another one, but is there a way to test whether the laws of, whether the mass of the 17 fundamental particles have possibly changed over time through the observable period that we have of 13.8 billion years of the universe? Maybe it's even less than that by a little bit, because we can't see the earliest times. So if there's some evidence that we could point to that various constants and even laws are changing with time, that's one step. And then the next step would be to find, or to decide whether the changes that have been made, assuming changes have been made, are beneficial or harmful to the sustaining of life. So let's just theoretically go into this wonderful future era of science where we've discovered a whole bunch of constants and laws of physics that have been changing with time, and let's just see if those changes are favorable to life or not, and whether we can come up with as much as a strong statistical argument that either yes, the majority of them are favorable for life. The majority of the changes that have happened are favorable for life, or maybe they're not, in which case we reject that hypothesis. So those are potentially testable. I don't know, work has been done, and I'm not up on all of it by far, to see what we can say about how the laws and the constants of physics might have changed since the early universe. But that's what I'm hanging my hat on, at least one idea that has come up since my epiphany 2 days ago, where universe self-replication with mutations and with quantum adjustments to the laws of physics through the many worlds continuous branching that life is participating in is everywhere taking place, leads to the idea, and this is so speculative, of course, that life may be controlling the evolution of the universe. And I'm not talking about intelligent life necessarily, even single cell. And there's a corollary to that I want to add. This is too long of a video already, but I'll keep it going. Add this corollary, and that is that everything we know about simple single-celled life suggests that it's very easy to get started, because it got started so quickly after the Earth kind of resettled and reformed after the collision with Theia, the proto-moon, the planet, Mars-sized planet that produced our moon. Life got started very quickly. So, and I'm hoping that in my lifetime we'll be able to say definitively that there's simple forms of life, maybe in the oceans of Europa, who knows where, maybe even find evidence on Mars of former life, that life is very likely to be almost in the simple forms, is likely to be almost ubiquitous through the universe. If that's true, and again, it seems like the most likely, but we have no evidence for it yet, result. But if that's true, then you got a whole lot of life out there all over the stinking universe that could be doing this work of tweaking the laws and constants of physics. So, whole lot of ifs, whole lot of speculations, but you know, then you get to the sort of spiritual end of it, which is that, and it's can put it in a very simple terms, and I expressed it before, what we do actually affects the universe. The decisions we make a difference to the way the universe behaves. And it's powerful, but it's also way out there toward the spiritual end of things. And I want to keep, testing each little step along that process before I can make that claim, which is kind of at the end of the rainbow, so to speak. All right, that is it for my sort of added epiphanies and ideas that have come up with since the epiphany on the 6th of September. So that's the end of the videos for today, unless something else comes to mind. So I'll talk to you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.